Hello, chemistry fans, and welcome back to Chemistry 1032 problem-solving session here at the Academic Success Center on Broward College North Campus. I am your host, Dr. Russell Betts, and I will be guiding you through this problem today. So without any further ado, let's jump right into this. Chapter 11, Organic Compounds, Problem 1. Now, before we start, let's just say a little bit about what's happened in this course right now. At this point, Chapter 11, the course makes a major gear shift. Doesn't mean it gets harder, it just means it's different. Up until this point, there was a lot of concepts and a lot of math. Now in organic, it's just a lot of concepts, and I don't believe there's any math beyond this point. So you can put your calculator away, you don't need it for this chapter, but there's a lot of concepts you're going to have to learn. They're not difficult concepts, there's just going to be quite a few of them. So don't sit back on these chapters, read them, maybe even read the chapter twice. Watch these videos a couple times, make sure you get it straight. Okay? Alright, now this question. Identify 3 differences between organic compounds and inorganic. Alright, so organic and inorganic. The first real difference, or the major difference between organic molecules or compounds and inorganic compounds is organic contain the element carbon, and inorganics generally do not. Generally don't contain carbon. So organics generally contain carbon, inorganics do not. That's one major difference. That's probably the difference. Organic compounds are typically low melting point. Inorganics typically have a high melting point. Organics typically have a low boiling point. Inorganics typically have a high boiling point. Organic molecules are generally not soluble. In water. Inorganics are generally soluble in water. Now there are exceptions to this rule. There's lots of organic compounds that are soluble in water, and there's lots of inorganics that aren't. But this is just generally speaking. Just generally speaking. All right. Flammable. Organic compounds will burn very well. Generally not flammable. Now, again, generally speaking, there are some inorganic compounds that are very flammable, but generally speaking, they're not flammable. That's a pretty good list. It only asked for 3 and I gave 5. There are other differences, but these are the major ones. These are the ones that are really big. So this is just stuff you have to know. So just, commit it to memory. Organic compounds contain carbon, low melting point, low boiling point, not very soluble in water, and are flammable. Inorganic do not contain carbon, high boiling points, high melting points, soluble typically in water, and are not flammable. Now, if you want to think about this in terms of things you know, let's take vegetable oil. Everyone's seen it. Everyone's probably cooked with it. Vegetable oil. If you put it in the pan and heat up the pan, that oil will start to smoke after a while, after you hit a certain temperature. So it will start to burn at a very low temperature. It's an oil at room temperature, so it melted actually at a very low temperature. It's already a liquid at room temperature, so it's very low. You try to put vegetable oil into water, you'll notice that it will sit on top of the water. It won't dissolve into the water. So it's not soluble in water. Vegetable oil is organic, contains a whole bunch of carbon. Now inorganic, table salt is our best example of that. Table salt is sodium and chloride and probably some sodium and iodide, no carbon to be found. Try melting sodium chloride. Just try to melt it with a lighter or anything like that. You need a torch to melt it. Then boil it after that at an even higher temperature. So they're very, very hard to melt, very, very hard to boil. Drop a little bit of salt and water, watch it disappear. Try to light salt on fire, you won't have any success. You'll just make the salt hot. Okay, it will not burn. Now, please don't try to do that. The salt will get very, very hot, and if it gets on your skin, it will burn you. But just for your knowledge, salt just doesn't burn. It's nearly impossible to make anything inorganic burn, generally speaking. Please don't try. I don't want you to get hurt. Okay, now with that, there's my list. I hope that this was pretty simple for you. I hope that you already knew it and we're just watching this video as a review. If you need to discuss this with anyone, please stop by Professor's office for office hours or contact one of the tutors here at the Academic Success Center. They are here to help you. Now with that, I'd like to wish you good luck and good chemistry.